All right, we're gonna switch gears and do a little more feel good about ourselves from a Surfrider standpoint. So I just wanted to point out that y'all are pretty much killing it in the Pacific Northwest. Ignore California, they have like 1,000 chapters, so. Oh, I was just saying, California has a lot of chapters, so. But you guys are doing so good in the Pacific Northwest in terms of the number of coastal victories that we've had over the years. And so shout out, just think about how much better our coasts are because of y'all's work and the people before you at Surfrider. And all of our partners and all of our spouses and friends that support us when we need that self-care. And then looking forward, I did want to talk about sort of coming on the heels of the backswing, if you will, of the policy pinata, where we're thinking about going as staff and sort of the active campaigns that we have ongoing and things that we might think might pop up in the near future. So for plastic pollution, Washington, as many of you Washingtonians know, are still actively working on good plastic pollution policies. Last year we tried with the Renew Act, which is extended producer responsibility. And we're gonna be pushing a similar bill, but it'll be tweaked a little bit because of all the negotiations and stuff that happened earlier. So we will be probably calling it the Packaging Act. So keep an eye on that as far as plastic pollution in Washington State. But we've already banned bags and a whole bunch of single-use stuff and expanded polystyrene, whoop, whoop. So we've made a lot of really good progress, and we have some of the strongest plastic laws in Washington. Oregon, what do you guys want to?
Yeah, Oregon also, like, feel free to jump in. Our big plastic pollution, there are 7 bills, but big bills that we're leading on is updating health code to promote reusables and allow reusables, and then banning polystyrene, which has some other stuff wrapped up in it as well.
So if you have an interest, the next 3 months, I'll be going through finalizing the language. Which means all have access. So that's the policy they are going to do. Lead it.
That was my word. That was my word.
Actually, that is.
Definitely make sure you're doing self-care when you're writing bills, because it's like the debate over that one word is like, oh my gosh. And then you're like, what is this really supposed to be saying? Like, those are fun calls with Charlie where it's like, I thought it meant this. I thought it meant this. We have no clue what they thought it meant. Yeah, it can get super interesting, but. Sweet. I'll take us into clean water and do Oregon, then pass it off to you. We've got, for clean water campaign-wise, we have a campaign down Sunset Bay, Coos Bay, which is like one of our worst offenders for water quality on the Oregon coast, and want to do some like source ID, like figuring out what the problem is, and ultimately hope that we have no more health advisories there, so it's safe in the water. And then programmatically, I didn't put it on there, but like get all of our water quality labs back up and running, which they've been at like varying stages with the pandemic.
Yeah, and clean water, we have the Puget Sound General Nutrient Permit, which did go into effect the 1st of this year, but there's been some litigation because some of the large wastewater treatment facilities don't want to pay to upgrade what they do. It's water, it's also a water problem. It's not like, no, Seattle, you're leaking raw sewage into the sound all the time. Please stop. So to be continued, but hopefully we'll get some resolution on that. But again, our Water Task Force program is great because it's on the ground. We have a voice because we are participating in that. That's clean water. So when we come to them for like, fix this, we have a lot more credibility because we're involved. We're active. Yes.
I have a question. I've heard some stories about Seattle, like right there, huge, like, you know, how medications or things like that are not.
Yes. Yes.
Sound is disturbing.
It is.
There's
Yes.
And I was watching the past. So we've done. Don't take it back. It has to. I like to spend.
You pee it out. Which is why some of the, like, what I would argue is slightly more boring parts of like the, like federal Ocean Recreation Hill Day is like, we advocate for funding and it doesn't sound very sexy. We're like, just pay for it. But that funding is essential for cities and municipalities to like upgrade that infrastructure so that they can have things like reverse osmosis filters and stuff and get those chemicals out. Yes. And it's so amazing to be like, our volunteers showed up, talked to federal legislators to get you more funding. So you need to fix this. So it's so powerful for us to be like, we are trying to help you fix this. And we advocated for funding for you. So it's like, it's coming from both sides. It's like, we're sampling these crappy waters. We're getting you funding. Y'all need to fix this. Marty. Yes.
Okay, we got introduced to that. Growing up,
Mhm.
because we have her field is risk management. And so she's trying to potential risk. So she that's all good to have essentially and we came up with 3 goals to deal with it. One was the medical waste.
Mhm.
But that was really the process. Because they do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some unlikely allies is like, we don't think the health department would be something we work on with, who, you know, work with closely, but it's a really powerful partner. Mhm. Yep. A lot of, yeah. Mhm. So yeah, a lot of opportunities for improving our clean water through our initiative.
Graham?
Yeah, can I take?
Please.
Yeah, just make sure everyone can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm curious, I work for the Break Free for Plastic Manipulated Service, the US policy officer. And one of the areas that I've been doing a lot of work on is around so-called chemical recycling or advanced recycling. How many of y'all are familiar with this? Okay, so for the last like 30 years or so, the American Chemistry Council, plastics industry at large, have been trying to leverage and scale what you're calling chemical recycling, right? It's basically been a huge PR campaign to create a market to receive and combust mixed plastic waste, right? So under the umbrella of chemical or advanced recycling are a number of divergent technologies that industry is trying to use to recycle monomers, right? The 2 main technologies are pyrolysis and gasification technology. Here in Oregon, there's one facility, Agilix down in Tigard, that Tiger, down in Tigard. Where are we? It's up.
It's north. We'll go through Tiger this afternoon.
They claim to chemically recycle polystyrene. There is no evidence that they are creating new polystyrene. And NRDC released a report last year that actually attracted. Agilix has sent over 500,000 pounds of hazardous waste to cement kilns all across the country. So, long story short, the plastics industry is trying to leverage and advance these so-called chemical recycling technologies to, in essence, justify petrochemical expansion and the creation of more plastic waste. So there's a lot of work that's being done around this with various organizations across the country. Just wanted to flag the issue and the terminology for you. There's really no such thing as chemical recycling or advanced recycling. For 30 years, the industry has not been able to prove that it is A, technologically scalable, economically feasible, or environmentally benign. What they're essentially doing is trying to create a market to collect and burn mixed plastic waste in order to incentivize the creation of more of it. There are two huge rulemaking processes underway at the US EPA. And if any of y'all are interested in learning more, I'm going to share my email and speak with chapters. But it's essentially what we're trying to do in the movement is pull ourselves out of the industry vernacular and stop referring to it as chemical recycling or advanced recycling. That's pure industry PR. What they're really doing is burning plastic.
Yeah. And I think it's also worth noting that as a consumer, what they're trying to do is give you the opportunity to get rid of your stuff. So people in Portland who are super progressive will understand everything about recycling. A lot of them love adjuvants. They don't understand that they're saving their products. I lost my train of thought. They create this false impression that you have a place to take your stuff, and then people start to defend that place. We've had this happen before with chapter meetings when we're trying to talk about polystyrene ban, and like, take your buckets away. And they don't understand their full impacts. And then ask where these cement kilns are located.
So like in Goose
Ohio
Bay,
Valley, third sort of low demographic communities that are experiencing.
Yeah, I mean, Agilent sent its hazardous waste to Tacoma, Washington, Cement Hill, Hannibal, Missouri, right? These are, some hard-hit communities as this. Yeah.
Graham, as you and I were talking, trip down, real quickly, as Graham and I were talking on our trip down, there is a new proposed chemical recycling facility to be built in Arlington, which could be an adjacent campaign possibly for the Northwest Streets chapter. And there's this really shady thing where apparently they're getting state funding.
And that's a big play with the industry, right? Like, so think of capitalism at large, right? If you have a great idea, you can sell it, no problem. You have venture capital money coming in to support your amazing idea because there's money to be made. For 30 years, the industry has not proved that this technology is economic. Any money to be made at all. We defeated a facility in Macon County, Georgia, because Brightmark, this company, was the largest pyrolysis facility in the world, basically plastic to fuel, right? And they wanted $500 million of exempt public revenue bonds to break ground on the facility. This is in a largely conservative district. Everybody was for it, but as soon as we organized the community around it to build economic arguments to help get in the ear of the decision makers, that was the thing that killed it. Say, like, these guys have not proved their model works, and you're going to give them $500 million of our money to build something that has never been done before, and that was the thing that killed it. So there's good stuff to be done.
I think there are like 5 active Surfrider campaigns in other regions currently fighting proposed local plastics burning facilities. We have a couple take action plans that are live with action alerts. So there's resources that we have Graham and this Float Coalition that we're part of, as well as other campaigns that look to. So you're not like starting from scratch too, so it's kind of cool, like there's stuff already out there to kind of tap into if that's of interest.
And it's really hilarious too with the industry, right? This DOE report that came out, the plastics recycling in the US is less than 6%. It's just like flatlining, right? And now they're wanting to advance a broken system that doesn't work. So yeah, just be wary of the industry's bullshit. Call it plastic. Yeah.
So many decision makers during that ruling.
That were like, you can build your facility, only carry the highest tax rates. And it's like, if you're gonna build it, it's going to the rate.
It's going in the house.
Yeah.
So in the house. Give you an idea.
So it's like, we're basically, just like, only in the rich people's backyard. Great. Many times. Alright. Here's two week access. So we have two access issues on the Washington Coast.
we'll just
Really, this is for the conservation area as well as intelligent, 325 access. Those are the topics like right now. Yes, and we're still monitoring them because it's not like done deal, beach access is secure to the public for all time. And I do want to point out that these local issues that we are seeing popping up. And so again, y'all are the network on the ground, experiencing this in the community. Like this would be a more statewide issue around the gray language of our public trust doctrine in Washington State and what is considered public land in the title. Beach Lake is in Port Angeles area, and Ferry Point is up in Beverly.
Specifically, Beach Lake is just to the,
Like on the beach yesterday, so we expect about that, but also like in Washington, there were a lot of starting a lot of that area, like we have communication, be like, Charlie, he's another one of those, property. Now, I have like,
I think the point of White House Beach reinforces Cherry Point. You know, that Cherry Point is a place that you can access. Open.
Yeah.
You don't have guaranteed access. One day, trust me, they will take it away.
Yeah.
So that public prescriptive right is so important. I mean, Carmen and I identified this to be a problem so long ago. Act on it.
Moving on, do you want to do yours?
So coast and climate, we in Oregon are working on goal 18. So if you remember Charlie's presentation about goal 18, the biggest thing we see is like fighting shoreline armoring. And so do you want to, did you talk about Highway 101 yesterday? I was doing too many things.
I mean, just briefly, shoreline armoring and the narrowing of that coast. Right. Infrastructure is very long. Some cases may. We don't ever support that, but. So how do we define it? And then how do we talk about? Should mention though that we bought a seawall campaign on years ago. We won that campaign. Approach to continue. But we came back in and worked with the city. So instead of a seawall, putting do that and we.
Yeah, it's super cool because like Surfrider, like it's our name on the FEMA grant. And so like we're able to bring that like nonprofit status that opens up some opportunities in work with another organization that's like convening partners. So we're really excited for that.
It's a
to
cool way of
launch.
fighting the problem, but also being part of the solution.
Which is what we're all about.
One of the things so far. Something, if you're not. But you're not. The solution. Hopefully, people overnight.
Cool. And then in Washington, we tried to pass our Sea Level Rise Planning Now campaign as part of a much larger bill. And at the last hour it died. I think Gus did a good job kind of giving an overview. So we're going to try to piece it out maybe if we can, and at least pass our bits. Plan B. So we'll see.
Is we just, put in a lot of money to move the Lubbock beach parks up.
Oh, awesome.
So the great thing, I love this, is that the publicity on, was, you're spending money, and now that, they're redoing the park, that's how it got built.
Mhm.
But they weren't redoing the park, they were protecting the park from being damaged by the
Hmm.
There's nobody quite. and then
Interesting.
the money you're spending, you really have to go, like, that deserves a.
Hmm.
But I'm sorry. So, background, like,
Yep.
Marty, that's a really great example and case study of communities that are embracing the single grass projections and utilizing. Actually, there's a report that highlights about 12 different other areas all around Washington State where they're doing awesome stuff, leading by example. So we want to use that to inspire others.
and it doesn't reflect. Thank you to my co-hosts. Great job. I learned a long time. Thank you, Lex. Thank you in advance.
That sounds like a very like Midwestern thing. That's a great point. And it's similar to like how we pass a lot of like plastic pollution legislation is like cities they're just smaller agencies are more nimble. And so they're able to do things quicker. And it's a lot easier to be like, oh, bag ban, bag ban, bag ban. And then suddenly it's like, hey, we have like 24 cities on board. Let's finally do this at the state level. So that's an awesome point.
Well, we can cover that newspaper.
Easy, yeah. They love us.
And then and then moving on to ocean protection. You want to do yours?
Sure. Do you want to talk about marine reserves?
I mean, marine reserves will protect areas, it's been a 10-year campaign for us in work. 10 years to designate that. That part of the process. So we are in a campaign right now. Already invested. Amongst the records.
And then wind
Does
energy.
everybody know what marine reserves are? Not
Protect and surf. Protect and surf.
Drop and give me 20. You don't know what marine reserves are.
I have just a marketing idea where we have our United Oceans flag, which I've been told reminds people somewhat of the Blue Lives Matter flag. We call them marine reserves and we say protect and surf, like your little thing.
Put it on a camo shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Put on a camo shirt. Bring people in. Snake farm. Awesome. Anyway, all right. Ocean protection in Washington State. Gus, go.
Two things really quick. I don't know if Liz has mentioned it, but Liz serves on the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary Advisory Council. voice for that special place. And there could be some opportunities in the future there. I just wanted to that might be a little shout
That's
out.
awesome.
All the meetings that you sit through and representing for all of us.
Occasional
Because it is
4-hour
like a
virtual
special
meeting.
place, and there could be some cool stuff that we can do there. The other thing, ocean protection that I wanted to just bring to your awareness, and I think I'm maybe a little bit on a blog post with the latest information is that we actually have 2 very large scale offshore wind projects that have been proposed off of Grace Harbor. One about 40 nautical miles out, and one about 15 to 25 nautical miles out. These projects have been proposed to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management through what's called an unsolicited request. And so it's really about as clear as mud what the timeline and process like from hand drying corn and how ocean is involved at this point. Not to be final report, but I do serve as representative of ocean recreation on the Advisory Council, wrestling with this issue over the coming months and years. So I just wanted to that invitation if you want to have any questions.
All right, get your phones out. We're gonna do some Slido stuff and things. So after this lovely discussion, which I was really stoked about, so thank you all for your participation. Please rank our 5 initiatives, now that you're experts in them, in terms of importance. Oh no. Hold on, technical difficulties. Think about the importance of these different initiatives and how you would rank them. We're gonna watch Bree do her IT technical fixing magic in live stream. Oh my gosh, so good. Not anymore. We're just using it as a recording tool. Dr. Jen was here earlier for Rachel's thing, which was fantastic. Okay. We can do that. Hold on, let me just check the other slides and see. Oh, but there's different word clouds that everything wanted.
Yeah, no, just discuss this one.
All right, let's discuss this one. All right, who has like a top, like, all right, let's start with Portland. Like, what are your like main focuses going forward? Like what initiatives are you like really stoked to work on? Which one? All right, so plastic. Awesome. Heck yeah. Awesome, awesome. And are there any other ones, or are you just gonna be like all in on plastic? Perfect. I think that's wise, given our whole capacity discussion.
I respect that.
Yes. Take a page out of their book. South Sound, what are you guys feeling? What's resonating with you in your little activist hearts? Yeah, that's done. That exists. Coastal preservation, all right. Oh, great. Awesome. All right, awesome. Hopefully you have some ideas about things you can do to engage in those initiatives. Some freshies. Who else? Coos Bay. What are you guys feeling?
Beach access.
Yeah, that's kind of all consuming.
I think the big buzz beyond the lighthouse beach is Goose Bay where we're recognized as a deep water port, so there's always some focus on just rising that for amazing access to lower impact communication. Their kind of vision for Goose Bay,
Mhm.
what kind of town we want to live in, we want this to be another, go down that whole logging, resource extractives, type of thing, or we want to have vibrant access to water, recreation.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for us to have a visioning opportunity in Goose Bay, and tried this in the past, but have never really gotten anywhere solved with that in our community. But I feel probably.
And if it's one thing we've learned, it's like start that stuff early because the reactive fights tend to be a little more taxing. Yeah. Build those relationships in advance before things get spicy. Dance. More spicy. All right. All right. Oh, wait, Ole, sorry, we skipped ahead. Olympia. Mhm. Mhm. Love it. Love it. Just ready to take this marching orders. I know Olympia has a whole sea level rise thing going on right now. Like the city has been like planning for climate change, and I've been like wanting to like get more involved in it, but I'm like too busy doing stuff in other cities with chapters. Like, sorry, local community, I don't have time for you.
I've been working on it for so long.
And then Bellingham, what are you guys thinking about? Yeah, yeah. Might be a good way for you guys to like recruit some new folks too, because that's gonna be a contentious issue. So we'll talk more about that.
We do have some DC of, secret bully and important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I love this, like, we have a good mix, and that makes me so happy that y'all are just all working on initiatives relevant and important to your communities, and you're spanning the whole gamut. So heck yeah, our coasts are better because of you. All right. Let's go back. We're not done. Oh. You can still participate. Yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah. Jen needs to know.
I did.
Jen's like, hire me more. All right. It's so funny that clean water's down here because I feel like most chapters have like Blue Water Task Force and stuff, and I know. Oh. I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think this is very frustrating for our network, they trying to unravel programs and campaigns. And we get campaigns often in the policy space of a decision. That is not the plan, right? But there's no reason why the water task force, you can't have a campaign that you don't have capacity, right? Because if you're raising awareness, and you're raising awareness of bacteria really high, somebody's gonna. So you can keep them educated.
Or set like a target goal, be like, hey, we want to have this many homeowners upgrade their septic tanks, or, we want this many schools to have this in their curriculum. Like, it doesn't have to be a policy decision. It just has to be something with like an end date, a goal, and a decision that's made by a decision-making body. All right, next slide. I just want this for my own personal reason. Describe your post-conference vibe. 1 to 3 words. Give me those vibes. Yes, I know. That was strategic. Staff are kind of volunteers too. We volunteer a lot of times as well. Oh, it's so meta. I had one of those recently where it's like 4 of us all lined up taking a picture of a picture of a picture. Pickled? Pretty much is. Gold star. Whoever said that. Who put the snake in there? This brings me so much joy. Oh my God.
Someone put the snake farm in there?
And I mean, it pretty much is. It pretty much is. It got bigger. Guys, this is my best day. That kind of hit pinata with steak. I'm putting this on t-shirts. And I'm gonna warp the logo and they're gonna yell at me. Oh my gosh. I like the chakra though, that's great. Get more recruits. Love it. I like how happy the snake is. He's real cute. He's like, I'm a little nope rope. Don't worry about me. Thank you. All right. People feel that we're done? We will we'll share this. Don't you worry. All right, next question. What was your biggest takeaway from the conference? Oh, yes. You sent this over here yet? Ooh, I'd love to hear that. I think that's a snake farm reference too. We've been here before. We'll build back better. Yes. There are still more slug world notebooks around. Oh, man.
Retention, not.
All right. I don't see any more active typers. Moving along. All right, final question. Oh no, there's two more. Wait, what am I doing? What would you like to see at future conferences? This is the last one for that. We're gonna start planning that.
This can run the whole gamut too, of like.
Content,
venue, location,
logistics.
content.
Ooh. All right. I do like field trips. Coffee by 6:30. All right. More bonfires. Keep using Slido. I'm gonna give Bree a shout out for finding this and figuring it out. And I was just like, cool, cool. I like it. Please make it work. You did. Thank you.
Yes, also, yeah, playing more chapters. Yes. Dance off, done. That's all. We are having a dance off.
Oh, it's so good. I like movie
I
screen.
don't know Elizabeth didn't dance to Macaroni. There's still time.
I was gonna do that to warm up for yoga.
Well,
Feeling like, oh.
that's how we like our all staff meet.
Have Rachel again. Yeah. But also chocolate. Campaign planning is definitely. Yeah, Rachel and chocolate. That sounds a great, powerful combo for self-help. A midday break. I like that. So it sounds like a midday dance-off might be a good.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
Let's do it.
Karaoke and dance-offs do pair very well
Yeah.
with beer.
Because I
And
dance so much
bonfires.
with hands.
I disagree. Bree does an amazing Shania Twain. I'm just saying. Like, don't listen to her.
I've never done that.
A way to give back to the land we're on at the conference. Gold star. I love that. Yeah. Beach felt pretty cool.
Yes, all the dogs.
Yeah, that's definitely on our radar. I'm trying to find a dog friendly place. It's hard. But we'll try. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it would have to be. It would have to be dog adjacent. Yeah. Or surf friendship. We may or may not do virtual hybrid again. That was very stressful. If we hire someone, we will do it.
Dinner was amazing.
Dinner. All our dinners were amazing.
How about that octopus salad that didn't have octopus in it?
Oh, I missed that. Is that why it was like a long tentacle of like rhubarb? Okay. I was like, I'm trying to eat this and it's really hard.
Oh, yeah, he said you don't eat that part.
I missed that because I hate food waste and I was like, oh.
in person only. That would be less stressful for us. We can still screen. Also, if anyone is hungry, we're like heading into lunch, there's still some stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to be like,
Yeah.
while we're talking,
Go for it.
please take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And remember, wash your hands.
All right, I'm just gonna come over some, thank you for all of that. And again, we'll compile all this in prayer. So, looking back at our goals, I think we did a decent job of connecting to our Surfrider mission and initiatives. So thank you for all that engaged participation and for our staff for leading some unique and creative exercises and policy stuff. I feel like y'all did a pretty solid job of networking and building relations between yourselves and with staff. So thank you for that. Hopefully you've left with some tools to help your chapters grow and thrive. And you better feel amazing about yourselves by golly. And I hope you're all leaving feeling inspired, stoked, and have had a lot of fun, which I think we have all just agreed. So, final Slido slide. This is the one we tried to do in the beginning, but I really want to do it. So, what happened? Oh,
Well, it's
got me. Okay. Here we go. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And appreciate it. All right, we'll come back to this. Think about it.
yeah.
Well, I want to do a word cloud.
But it doesn't work for me.
What if we wrote it down on a piece of paper? We'll come back to it. All right. Just some final housekeeping stuff. Again, we mentioned it before, but if you haven't signed the photo mats, please do so to thank our sponsors, 10 Barrel and Mirror. They put up a lot of money to provide all the food and the lodging and the swag and stuff. And SandCloud, who obviously donated 1,000 towels. Last call for Slug Love. I hope everybody leaves here having gotten at least one Slug Love. So like, suss out if you've received one or if people in your groups haven't received one, like they better get one. So it's on you. Make sure other people in your chapter get some Slug Love.
You can like also take
Take
some
those
with
back.
you, like annual planning's coming up. You
Yeah.
can do Slug Love, annual planning, or like randomly at events.
Yeah, or other people in your EC that couldn't make it today, write them some Slug Love and give it to them later. Also new to brands. This one's called a Sea Bunny.
It's so cute.
Yeah, if you ever feel bad, Google Sea Bunny. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
These are all real. These exist in the world. They're not Photoshopped. And the one on your Slug Love thing is called a blue dragon. And that is,
Look how tiny it is.
it actually exists in the world because nature is magical. So there you go. All the resources and recordings that we will compile will be put on the conference dashboard, the Notion page that I keep pointing to all the time. So if you ever want any information or the resources that we had, that is where you will find them.
Also, if you just like came across a resource that someone else shared that wasn't like shared by a presenter and you want that to go on the dashboard, like send it to us so we can put it on there.
Oh, we should have done.
Or we're just gonna do it now even though they're meeting.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, and as our final appreciation for y'all, and because Surfrider hired a North Florida redneck to lead their chapters, I spent some of our conference money on #volunteer appreciation knives. So these are from a company. They are made out of recycled marine debris that was collected from cleanups, and they are specifically designed to cut things like the polypropylene line that you find so often on our beach cleanups. So, will the Portland chapter please stand up and receive your #volunteer appreciation knife?
you wanna knife them like?
No. Oh, they're blunt tips, so they're not good for juking, so you can't stab.
Do not play with them here, please. We will never be welcome back.
And yes, I was vetoed, and I was like, let's just put the knives in
So
the
she's
together.
gonna anoint you with your knives. So I wanted to recognize the Portland chapter. The Portland chapter, I feel like in Oregon, like my wellness chapter, they've really done a good job of talking about Jedi. They do a really amazing job of creating a safe and welcoming space for people, including new volunteers. And so it's lovely. Like, I feel like you all have helped me grow, and like it's been lovely having this kind of safe place to talk about Jedi and emerging issues, like how that relates to Surfrider. And so caring, you have their capacity checks at their exec meetings that like really take care of each other. It's like you've created such a beautiful community within your chapter. So thank you.
Will the South Sound chapter please stand up? We got 5. Who has a tiny head? Who has a short one? All right, South Sound chapter just knows how to put the fun in a lot of things. They are so dedicated with and consistent with how many cleanups they do. They have so many beaches that they sample for Blue Water Task Force. They are just such a strong and consistently strong chapter and well respected in their communities. And they have so much fun. They have a giant octopus, like a metal great octopus that they fill with trash at their cleanups, which is super fun. And they target different beaches. Stina does occasional low tide tours sometimes, and they combine all sorts of fun activities like yoga, and they always have a good time at their meetings and so many good chapter presentations. And they're just so involved in their community, huh? And they have a Christmas party every year, and we have a wrapping party where we read chapter 5 of Wind in the Willows out loud to each other, which is very fun. So they're just unique and creative group all around. And yeah, have you already seen them nice? Yeah. Awesome. Coos Bay? Yeah, Coos Bay. The Coos Bay chapter, please stand up. Please stand up. Some of these are like really short. So I think that's Ryan's fault. No, that was Chad. Was it Chad? No, Ryan's like.
Oh,
Chad and Ryan. Okay. So, all right. Well, now it's like you just were like talking about how much fun they are. I was talking about how much fun Coos Bay is. I mean, I think they're good fun. Okay. Like, I have never seen a chapter party so hard. You're not gonna go into details. It's like a children's camp. Party so hard, but also Coos Bay is so tenacious, and like when they get into a fight, like like a campaign. I mean, like the LND campaign was a long slog, like over a decade for the community. So important for the community, but like your sense of community, like within the broader like Coos Bay community, is so inspiring. And so when the Coos Bay chapter is making a decision, it's like the exec is talking, it's like, what's the best thing for our community? What does our community think? And so that's something that's like super inspiring to me about the Coos Bay chapter. And then also I know that I have so much fun, like during the chapter meeting, after the chapter meeting, we're talking about dance parties. Coos Bay is the dance chapter, especially Carmen. Talking like a tour call, you know. But yeah, really fun, but also like super hardworking, like carrying things through over the finish line, reaching those goals. So thank you, Coos Bay. Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Love it, Slug Love.
He has a knife.
He tucked it
Did
in.
you see how he did that pinata? I'm not giving him a knife. He was hitting it while it was down, man. All right, well, the Olympia chapter, please stand up.
She literally is the Olympia chapter, guys.
Olympia has been, Christine, I should just say Christine. She is one of the most passionate people about educating others about plastic pollution that I've ever met. She goes to every tabling event. She goes into classrooms. She goes on TV and YouTube, even though I know you probably don't want to be on TV or on YouTube. So she makes those sacrifices, and she is so amazing at rallying the community, including like local businesses, and finding those businesses that are doing everything they can to be sustainable, whether that's beauty products or glass drinking straws. You're so beautifully blue, and I love every part of it. And like just all the OFRs. So she has single-handedly started and like continues to run the OFR program, runs monthly beach butt pickups, which is completely her idea. And like she single-handedly has caused the removal of almost 100,000 cigarette butts from our waterways. And she goes out to Westport to table and to do beach cleanups, often all by herself, and Dave, who is a saint, her husband.
He carries
He
everything.
carries everything, and then he like interferes with your outreach, and I know.
He's very dramatic and he makes stuff up, and Surfrider has history that you guys didn't even know about, according to Dave. I don't even know what he
Oh
talks about.
man, and so, and you're always thinking about how to involve the community and just make the world a better place.
I also wanted to add from a policy perspective, whenever I'm down to Olympia or testifying or anything like that, it's a one day or pushing recreational hill day, always for those speakers, stuff and do some amazing social media around it. And so that-
Yeah. Also, during some of those legislative efforts, she has the ear of some like very like influential decision makers. And when we were trying to ban expanded polystyrene, there's a manufacturing facility in Tumwater. And because I think partly due to Christine just having those conversations with key people, she might have helped push that like legislation to pass, because we had some pretty strong opposition in our community in Tumwater. So Christine's amazing. Do you have any more chapters? Or is it just? Bellingham, please stand up. Northwest Straits. Woo! Bellingham is the chapter that is the furthest away from me. And I always look forward to making that drive, because you guys are just so chill and so connected to your waterways. And it's just a pleasure to just bask in. We had a board meeting on like Lake Haddon recently, like an EC meeting out on the water. And it was just so beautiful. And it was actually like a productive meeting. I was like, we're not gonna get anything done. And y'all like still got some shit done. I was like, these guys are awesome. And even Jamie dropped her phone in the lake. And she was still like, accept. And she was still like so chill. And like, I was just like, I would be reacting very differently to this situation. And you guys have shown up to those city council meetings, and like Eleanor is just like a powerhouse and everything. And they've had this long running, super established Blue Water Task Force program that really set the tone in Washington State and built that credibility. So that was y'all's chapter that really, and that's why we have such a good relation with the Department of Ecology, and we are taken seriously on a statewide level. So there's so many things I can say about Bellingham. Also,
I'd love to give a shout out to Anna Rock for.
yes.
Time.
Yeah, they're so good about always emailing their club and inviting club leaders to chapter meetings and EC meetings. And because of that, we've had some step into some leadership roles in the chapter. And so it's awesome. And you guys have great partnerships with local organizations as well to help collaborate on different cleanups. They had one where they like rented boats and went out to an island and did it, which was awesome. So yeah, you guys are just wonderful to work with, and I'm hoping we can get some more folks to help you guys out. Yeah, and also, Rob made the drive. So extra credit for that. I hope you all enjoy your knives. Please don't cut yourselves and sue us. We did not run this by our compliance officer
Or the venue,
or
so
the venue.
just keep them put away.
They're fun. They're like safety knives. They're like knives for kids. It's fine. All right. I think we have one more slide. So as you enjoy your lunches and reflect, now that you're feeling relaxed, you've found your happy place from our visualization efforts. We feel stoked from sharing how stoked we are with each other. And we've bribed you with weapons. So now is the time to complete your post-conference survey. So just relax. We would love for you to do it before you leave, because otherwise it might not get done. Because I know I wouldn't once I left. So please scan the QR code. If you want to just do it on your computer, we will, of course, be sending out a link to the form if that's your preference, because I know it's not always fun doing it on your phone.
And then also just putting in a plug for yoga at 12:15. We're just gonna be on like the concrete right out here. Kelly is a phenomenal yoga instructor. She's a surfer, so she put together like a personalized session for us with surfing in mind and with lots of sitting over the weekend in mind. So if you brought your yoga mat and comfy clothes, join us out there at 12:15 for a 30-minute yoga session. You can use Zen Club towel. I can ask her if she has some she can bring. But-
There you go.
We're done.
Hey.
Yeah.
With everyone and well.
And thanks for all the other staff being here. Oh, that's
It's way too
yeah, it's
small.
not going over my head.
I have a tiny head, so it'll
I already
almost
have
fit.
one somewhere.
I actually have one on the side.
Mine's somewhere. I already lost mine. No, it's
That's
not.
why we don't have nice things.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.